Hello and welcome to a new video. Today I am building another wedding venue. I did build a wedding venue last year, but that was small and I just didn't really like how it turned out because it had nothing in it, just, the altar and a bunch of benches. Even though a bunch of people downloaded it and watched it on my video, which I'm still very confused about because, like I said, the build wasn't very good. But thank you so much for everybody who watched it and downloaded it. But I actually wanted to do it better, and this time I had a picture in my mind for this venue. I wanted there to be a house and wanted to build an aisle that led straight from the house to the altar, and that is what I actually did. Now, in my mind it looked a bit different, but I still think that this turned out pretty cute. I like how the house turned out, especially how the actual wedding area in the backyard turned out. And the actual house isn't huge, but I like the rounded patio in the front. I just feel like this gives the house a little bit more of an elegant touch. This house isn't huge by any means. I mean, it looks a little bigger, but it won't contain much because no one will actually live here or go on vacation here. It's just a wedding venue. You'll get here, you'll marry here, eat, party, and that's pretty much it. Oh no, I just realized I didn't put a radio or whatever to listen to music. But please add it if you download it because that just makes it a lot better. So lately I love actually using red roofs. I only used to build with black roofs, but now most of the roofs I use are red because I think it looks nice, it looks more friendly, and especially on a wedding venue, right? Because red is the color of love, so that just fits amazingly in my mind. And I tend to actually use wallpaper that is more colorful on the exterior, but not in this build because I wanted to make it look more classic and chic, and I wanted the yard to stand out because the actual wedding ceremony will probably be there because there's the altar and everything like that, So I used very neutral colors like gray and white and a little pale blue, although the front door might be my actual favorite thing ever. It just fits so nicely. I love all the details. I just love how it looks. It's the best entrance ever. And the windows, I think, are from Romantic Garden stuff that I love a lot too, because I never use them because my walls are never at this wall height. They're usually at the first one or the second one, so short or medium, but never, tall. So this time I could use them and it fits because it's a romantic pack. I also added a bunch of flowers to the outside of the build just to make it look more romantic and cute, and used black floors because, like I said, very neutral colors. Now, at first I struggled a little bit with building the backyard / wedding area. I really didn't know how to decorate, so I actually placed a bunch of wedding related things in the yard that I could use later, and I actually did use most of it, or all of it I think actually. But one thing I did know for sure is that I wanted to have a pool around the altar area, like not one that you could use because I don't want people swimming there. It's a wedding, but one for decorations. And I didn't know if I wanted it to be raised so it's at the altar's height, or if I wanted one in the ground, but I decided to raise the pool, and I think that looks pretty nice, to be honest. And special, and I put a lot of flowers in there. I don't know what they're called, but I put them in there. I think lilies and stuff. No, water lily, like a lot of flowers and greenery. I put them in there, and I think that looks beautiful and special. And so yeah, I did it. Okay, you know how hard it is to talk about this build for close to 20 minutes. It's so hard. I don't know what to talk about anymore, and it's like not even 5 minutes in, I think. Like what are people talking about in those long videos? I don't know. Get back to the build. So I just placed seating areas and a bar outside, a few cute benches here and there in corners so you can get away from all the other guests and just be alone, or with a significant other or friend if you want to. I have to remind myself that this is Sims, this isn't actually real life, but let's pretend it is. Landscaping this was a nightmare for me. Because like I said 20 times in almost every video that I've ever done, I suck at landscaping. I'm not good at it. I watch other people do it and am blown away by how great they landscape, how amazing it looks when they do it. But I just suck at it. And so this took me a long time and a lot of energy to actually do this. I just put a bunch of flowers and bushes and trees everywhere and hope that it looks cute. And I think it's acceptable, right? Like, for sure not my best work, but also not my worst. But landscaping is so hard. I mean, you can put a bunch of flowers down, but to make it actually look so cute is so hard in my opinion. So yes, there's a lot of space to landscape in this build. So this was actually a nightmare for me, for sure. But I still like how it turned out. Like I put a lot of, you will see later, I put a lot of white flowers on pathways and stuff like that to just kind of blend it in so you don't see the path too much and it just looks more romantic, and I think that turned out pretty. Now let me talk about the house here, because I like the house build is a little further away in the video, but I don't know what to talk about anymore, so let's just talk about the house. Because I'm running out of things to say, like I said. Well, the house has a big entrance with 2 huge staircases because that just looks elegant in my opinion, and it also has a kitchen that I don't love at all, but it's okay. And the bathrooms that are pretty, I like the bathrooms. They're huge and I didn't know what to put in them. So they just have a toilet and sinks and a bunch of decoration, but I still like it. Oh, quick interruption, because I just am seeing that I'm placing those cute lights coming to the altar, like down the aisle. I'm in love with that. Like, that's a great idea. Pat myself on the back for this. But upstairs in the house is also a fireplace and a bookshelf and everything like that, and a reading nook, and you just can sit there and read, and it's just more romantic that way. I feel like I like this. This has a very homey feel to it, in my opinion, which I wanted to achieve, because I feel always more welcome when everything is comfortable and homey, in my opinion. I'm not really an elegant type, so who am I to judge, but I just feel like more at home and more comfortable when there are nooks where you can sit and be alone with your thoughts and everything like that, get away from the crowd, because I'm a very socially anxious person, and getting away from the crowd is very important for me to just gather my thoughts and not lose my stuff, you know, like lose my mental abilities to work through this. Like, socializing is so hard for me, so those nooks are very important for me. And I did the same, like I said, on the outside with a bunch of benches here and there, and just to get away, and they're cute little corners. And when the party's over, not by Billie Eilish, when the party's over, you can grab a drink at the bar or grab something to eat and just go sit on the bench or whatever you want to do. There's also a lot of fountains that make everything look more pretty, and I really didn't know how to arrange the flowers here on this part with the fountain and stuff, so I just put a bunch of tall grass, and in between I put a bunch of little flowers here and there to make it look a little bit better. But I don't think it's my favorite thing. Like, it just looks overgrown. I don't know if I love it or if I hate it, but I just had to do it. And yeah, I mean, I don't know why this is here. Like, what are they called? Hot springs? I don't know why they're here. I just at the beginning of the video said that I didn't want a pool there. I didn't want people to swim there, but I think that is not swimming. I think that's more relaxing. People can actually sit in there and just enjoy their time, and it's more romantic than a pool, in my opinion. Now this side of the yard is my favorite. At first I didn't really know what to put there, besides like this hot water stuff thing. But then I put a huge fountain there. I actually sized the fountain up and put it there, and it just turned out so cute. Like, it's my favorite thing there. And yeah, I don't know, it's my favorite thing in the build, apart from the altar and everything like that. Although the second bench on the right is probably not seen very well because I overdid the entire landscaping process here a little bit. Well, the entire build is, overgrown. So, but I like it somehow. So let me know what you think about it, because I think it's pretty cute. I think it's way better than my first wedding venue. If you haven't seen that, I will maybe link it down below, but you don't have to see it because it's not that good. I can promise you don't want to watch it. Yeah, so let me just ramble on about the things that I've been doing lately. Like I said, I don't know if I actually put a voiceover in my last video, but if I did, I talked about the Vampire Diaries and how I'm watching it right now, and I am still watching it. I'm right now, I think, in season 4. The season 3 finale was with Alaric, right? And the sad one where, spoiler alert, by the way, don't watch it or click away if you don't want to hear this, if you never watched the Vampire Diaries, but I think it's the one where Alaric dies, right? Very sad. I love him so much. I wish he would be there again. Just FYI, I watched Vampire Diaries when I was a teenager, but I forgot everything about it, like literally everything. I didn't even know that Elena was going to turn into a vampire anymore. Like I feel like I knew the first season and then the rest is just blocked out of my mind. Because I also, in the earlier stage as a teenager, I always remember like shipping Stefan and Elena. And now that I look at it, I still ship Stefan and Elena, but like human Elena and Stefan. Vampire Elena, well, she belongs to Damon. I'm sorry to say it, but it's true. She changed a lot. But yeah, so that's all I want to say about the Vampire Diaries, because I don't know. Do you watch the Vampire Diaries? Do you like it? Have you ever watched it? Are you into vampire stuff? And then recently, weirdly enough, I watched a Ian Somerhalder interview where he talks about his show on Netflix, V Wars, which I never watched, but it's basically about an outbreak or a scientist who wants to prevent an outbreak of a virus which is so close to happening, and he tries to prevent it. And he did this interview in 2019, and I watched this and I was like, wow, did they really predict this virus that was just now here and there's an actual outbreak? And he talked about how this scientist is like actually right, because real scientists look at it and say, we're due for another outbreak, because that's how it works. Every, I don't know how many years there will be a pandemic or or something like that, like an outbreak of a virus. And he said, we're due to that, or we're due for that. So it will probably happen anytime now, or something like that. I don't remember what he said. But I was just thinking how crazy that is. Like that they basically predicted that. They got it right. Here's the outbreak, and I don't know if it will end soon. Anyway, knock on wood. What I really like about this house also is just the entranceway. Like, it's big and I didn't know what to put in there, so I just put a bunch of couches in there, as you will see in a little bit, but I still like the entrance area a lot. Like, I love the staircases, and I try to, I don't know, I just love the entryway. And like I said, it's not a house that you live in, it's just a house that you get married in and leave again. But I think it's cute for that purpose. So yeah. Also, I've been reading, I know, I've been talking about that for a lot of times, but I've been reading The Mortal Instruments again. It's my favorite book series, okay? I could read it every day. Like, I am obsessed with Chase. I want Chase as my friend, and I can't. But I've been reading that again, and I love it so much. If you have never read it, please do. Please do. It's such a great book series. My favorite book is the last one, by the way, if you're curious, and the second to last one, too. Yes. So Now, whenever I'm doing actual voiceovers in my video, I now want to give you my song or songs of the week. So songs that were stuck in my head all week long, or that I discovered and loved a lot. So I really wanted to just give you my songs of the week. Maybe you haven't heard of them yet and are interested to listen to them. So my songs of the week are Paralyzed by Jamie Bauer, because he's my favorite human being and he deserves all the attention that he can get. So, Paralyzed, Jamie Bauer. I Can't Carry This Anymore by Ensign Zebra, which is kind of a depressive, kind of a sad, depressed song, but if you like, maybe you know it already because it's very popular, it seems like. But love that song, love that dude, he makes great music. And fitting for a wedding, because I thought that connected to love and weddings, Book of Love by Peter Gabriel. It's just such a beautiful, heartfelt song and so amazing, and it is part of one of my favorite TV shows, which is Scrubs, and part of a very, very, very emotional scene, and I really love it. So listen to those songs if you want to. And that is it for today's video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you would love to. Also hit the bell notification so you don't miss when I post. And leave a comment down below. What did you think about this? Or whatever, just leave a comment down below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Goodbye!